All right, here we go. This is the Aline stacked bob. Right now I'm cutting the back guide. So with this, I sectioned it behind the ears, and you're gonna cut just like straight across in this section. Sometimes if you start the angle too soon, it doesn't give you the look on the side that you kind of want. So that's why I section my A-lines behind the ears, and all this is cut just straight. Now I'm just checking. And I know the angle looks like it's not straight. It's just the way the camera is kind of, but I did cut basically straight across so that the center bit is going to be a teeny bit shorter than the sides, but not by a lot. And so you want your sections so that you can see your guide underneath. This whole haircut only takes me, I think, like 15-20 minutes. And that's just because I'm very methodical about where I'm actually placing and cutting and that kind of thing. So yeah, just drop down the sections. Bring it all down like you're doing a blunt cut. Same thing again. I noticed that I couldn't quite see my guideline, so I resectioned the hair upwards so that I could actually see underneath. Now I'm lifting up just to make sure. So we're just creating a length guideline in the back. You want to wait until you have your entire guideline to start doing the layers and stacking and that kind of thing. And I'm combing straight down without elevation. When you stick your fingers underneath to like grab the hair, you will slightly elevate. So that's why I comb straight down and cut straight to the neck on there so that there is no elevation whatsoever. Now let's turn. Now we're going to start the angle. Depending on how much of an angle the client wants will depend on how you kind of hold your fingers. I'm going for a slightly more exaggerated angle. The hair itself already had bangs and stuff cut in, so I'm not going to get as big of an accentuation as if the front was all cut to one length. Again, I'm combing down and making sure that with no elevation whatsoever, there are no longer pieces. And then I'm continuing, dropping everything down. So this is like a blunt A-line haircut. And there we go, that's the angle we're going for. And now we'll do the other side. Ideally, you would want your client to tip their head, like ear to shoulder, the opposite side. So right now I'm cutting the right side. So you would have the client tip their ear to their shoulder on the left side. That way it elongates the neck and it gets the little underneath hairs. Because a lot of times when you cut just like blunt, if it's not the right tension or whatever, there'll be a teeny bit of loose hairs that are underneath that need to be cut. So tipping their head will keep that from happening. Now I'm checking the length in the front. I did notice that although the sides were a little bit too much, it's really only that front piece that needed to be trimmed in just a little bit. Now with the A-line, styling is important. It's hard to see if you've gotten it the right length or the layers are in the right spot without styling. So this is one of those haircuts that you should style and then go back through, which is usually what I do. Now I'm going up, I'm bringing things at like a 45-degree angle, and then I'm just chopping off the rest of that corner. So you're still leaving weight at the top, but it's going to be like a longer layered type situation. And now what I'm doing is I'm bringing all the hair towards the center of the back. When you do that, you bring the side so that the layering and stacking ends up being the most severe at the back center, and then it gets longer towards the front. So that back center guide is what you're matching everything to. So you notice as I am leaving more kind of weight towards the front, I'm taking off less and less. And that's to give you that full, heavy kind of A-line. This is also good for women if their hair is finer in the front. Just because most people have more hair in the back section, where you can still stack the back, but you're not over layering the front and making it seem a little thinner. So now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing horizontal sections and pulling outward, because no matter where you grab in the hair, there should be an angle where it's shortest in the back and then it gets longer in the front. So I found a piece that wasn't quite going in the way I wanted it to. So I went back through that section at like a 45-ish degree angle and then just basically layering out that top corner. And that'll help tuck it under just a little bit. Here's the angle of the section that I cut. It's already starting to cup under just a little bit better. But this isn't a haircut that you don't have to style. You have to style this haircut, otherwise it's not going to look good. Again, I'm bringing that back section all the way to the back guide, that very center panel from the back. So because I'm like dragging the hair all the way to the back, you're naturally going to get some variation where it angles in, because the hair that you're pulling backwards has to stretch further. So it's naturally going to be longer. Again, now I've started to pull more in a 90-degree fashion, and don't worry about the top guide, because later on I'm going to grab upwards to make sure that whole top piece is even. And again, horizontally, I'm checking to make sure that there's no long pieces, because any long piece that you leave in there is going to kick out and make the harder to do. Now here I go. I'm going to be grabbing upwards the very, very top crown just to make sure that there are no long pieces. I also do this with long cuts. I will grab everything other than, the bottom length, just to check, because I hate when I have a ponytail and then there's like a long piece. So I always grab this giant section towards the end, no matter what female haircut I'm doing. So there we go. That's it.